PlayerUnknown'S Battlegrounds is the Steam Early Access release of what was probably the most popular Battle Royale mod for Arma 2's DayZ. Now, they've gone ahead and formed a company, Bluehole, and used the Unreal Engine 4 and made this something of their own because they've seen things like the mod take off and then H1Z1 King of the Kill be a commercial success. So what better way to kind of come full circle and just make your own game with a brand new map and your own ideas and sell it on Steam. In the countless hours that I've been playing this, either solo or with my friends, it's you know, I really refrain from wanting to use the word addiction, but it is very compulsive to want to come back and play a match, and then whatever the outcome of that match is, come right back and start over. The game starts out with 100 players. You can play it solo, in duos, or as a squad, and the game will appropriately matchmake you with those types of people. So if you're playing solo, you're going to play with other solo players. You're not going to be put into a disadvantaged situation where you're going up against a squad or even a duo. It's solos with solos, duos with duos, squads with squads. If you don't have a full group, or if you don't have a partner, you can matchmake with a random person and kind of hope for the best. But really, the times that you're going to be playing with a team, you should actually be playing with real people. So 100 people load in. You guys will board a plane and go over the map. The trajectory in which the plane flies is different every time, so you kind of don't, you may have like your spot that you land at and you know that there's good gear or whatever, but by the plane being, in a different trajectory every time it starts, gives you, an opportunity to explore new things, try different things, and see how that works. Once everybody jumps out, you can kind of take it slow with your skydive, or you can just bullet straight towards the ground, and at a certain point the game will force your parachute open, or you can pull it early, and then you land, and it's a race. It's honestly a race. Find the best gear you can, whether it be helmets, guns, pistols, automatic rifles, or SMGs, or shotguns. Some of it can be a preference, but really a lot of what happens in this game is just kind of whatever you find. You're not going to find the best stuff right away. Maybe you will, maybe you won't, but it's kind of all that randomness to it that is really exciting. And then at a certain point, there's going to be an encroaching circle that forces the players to kind of get into a centralized location. If you are caught outside that circle, then you start to take damage, and until you can either get inside the circle or until you die, unfortunately. If you do go down from bullets from other players or whatever, it is possible for your teammates to pick you up. If you're playing solo, that's you're out of luck. But this accelerated play time is really what makes things tense and frightening, because this map is huge. It's 8 kilometers by 8 kilometers, and it slowly shrinks, and you don't know where people are hiding. You don't know if you always have that feeling like eyes are on you. And this really distills the formula of DayZ and probably the Arma 2 Wasteland mod, kind of a combination of the two, of kind of making what would normally take like 2 or 3 hours to get geared up, to find your friends, or whatever the case may be. Like, that was always a time-consuming thing. Or if you were going to make a run from one town to another in DayZ, it was always a involved affair. With PlayerUnknown'S Battlegrounds, it accelerates all of that in a great way. Matches can be like 15-20 minutes, kind of just depending on what's going on. Sometimes, it'll be like 30 or whatever. It all depends on how long you last. But PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is probably one of the best versions of these, and it kind of makes sense when it's coming from, quote unquote, the father of Battle Royale mod. So you kind of come to expect this to be good, and it is on early access, but in a lot of ways it doesn't feel like it. I mean, sure enough, there's bugs. Sure enough, there's some visual things. Sure enough, there's been some server issues, which at this moment have been pretty much ironed out. I am just enamored with this game. I mean, it doesn't matter how well or poorly I do as a individual or as part of a team. I immediately just want to jump right back in and do it all over again. When playing DayZ or Arma 3 Wasteland or whatever, when you died and you had to do that whole thing all over again to get geared and make your way to your friends and all that stuff that I mentioned before, like, it was just exhausting, and you kind of didn't want to do it. Maybe you would do it one time after the first, but you really just wouldn't stick with it. It was just kind of like, okay, I guess I'm done playing this for tonight. And with Battlegrounds, that's just not the case. You're just one more match. Okay, I did really good here. I want to do that again. It's such a great feeling when you place really well in the match. Now, in terms of like what you can loot, there's a really good variety of weapons. From fully automatic rifles to burst rifles to SMGs and shotguns, and each have their place. There's sniper rifles, which really can put a hurt on someone if you actually have it down to be able to make a shot like that. You can be pretty much unstoppable. There's attachments like sights and silencers and extended mags and quick draw mags, so you pull up your gun faster. All of these things, it's even playing ground for everyone. Everyone will eventually come across these attachments. Everyone will come across these weapons. It's not gated by some arbitrary level. It's not gated by currency that you need to accrue. While there is an in-game currency called battle points, I think it is, that's only to unlock cosmetic stuff. So there is nothing in this game that would ever make one person more capable of taking you out than another, other than pure skill. There's nothing that people can pay for to make them better. So it's early access done right. It's games done right. For a multiplayer shooter, like it's that right amount of length where it's not enough to take up your entire evening just playing a single match. You can play 3 to 4 to 5, 6 matches at a time or in a night and really feel satisfied regardless of how you placed. It's one of those things where it just doesn't matter how well you do or how poorly you do. Like, you just love having participated in this thing. You love getting the drop on someone and just getting that kill or saving your friend from death or whatever the case may be. Like, it is extremely satisfying at every current corner. There's things like in terms of the constricting playfield, that introduces so much tension, right? And then you have areas on the map that get randomly marked in red as a place where it's going to get bombed. So you could be holed up in a place that you're very confident that you can defend, but then it's going to get bombed. If you're already inside of it, you're fine because the bombings don't actually penetrate buildings or windows or anything like that. But if you're caught in an open field or something, I mean, it's pretty much certain death. There's also vehicles to to obtain. So they all have fuel, and you can also, take your friends along with you because they're normally 4-seaters unless they're the buggies. but they're a great way to, if you're at one end of the map and the circle is closing in on another spot and you've got to get over there. Vehicles are a great way, and they're in a great abundance. There's just no shortage of vehicles. I mean, there's no shortage of pretty much anything in this game. It's just a matter of being lucky enough to find the thing that you're looking for, that you need. There's also supply drops that drop really great weapons and high tier armor. So like level 3 helmets, level 3 backpacks, level 3 police vests, things like that, that can really, take a player who's been just having some bad luck in what they're able to find and, really, really get some good gear. But at the same time, everybody sees that crate drop. So everybody in that, immediate vicinity is going to come for it. So you've, got to move fast and hopefully get in and out before anyone gets there. It's a really well thought out game, and it's easily one of my favorite multiplayer experiences of 2017. Now, I didn't really play the mod much, if at all, really, that I can recall. I haven't played much of H1Z1, so the formula for me isn't worn. It doesn't feel like something that's been in existence for a while. I've played things like it, but not exactly this. If you're looking for something to play with your friends that's just really different, has a kind of simulation aspect to it, you really cannot go wrong with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. It's only going to be evolving and growing from here, and I really can't wait to see where it goes from here, because right now it's pretty much got everything that I would want and everything that I need. But to be a part of this community and play with these types of people, like, it's such a fun experience. Definitely play with friends if you can, but even as a solo player, it's enthralling and nail biting to make it to like the top 10 and just know that at any moment that you could either get the drop on someone or someone can get the drop on you. So yeah, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is highly recommended. It's not finished, but for what is here, it is more than capable of picking up right now. Thanks.